Okay, this year for Inktober, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So when I got the prompt list, it came out pretty early. I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought this notebook, which looks like this. It is, I'll show you the inside here. It is this Master's Touch, excuse me, 72-page mixed media, 5.5 by 8.5 inches, 110 pounds. And then I also, so that costs $8.99 regular price. I think the notebook might have been on sale. And then I also bought first time I went there, I got the Marabou graphic fine liners, which look like this, and it comes with a 0.4, a brush, a 0.8, and a 0.2. And then when I was there the first time, I also purchased this set of Posca pens, which is the Earth set. And then when I went back a couple weeks later, I purchased, so a couple of them come with this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yep. Then I bought the warm colors, which have a couple duplicates. They have the ivory and the ochre are duplicates. So each one is like 8 sets, or 8 colors. My favorite set, I would say, which is best for beginners, would probably be this set, depending on what you want to do. There's my little Halloween decoration there, and a pumpkin Mickey there. And then I went, and the last set that I wanted to get before they were all gone was this one. So this was another couple weeks later. Kind of waited and got the last set that I needed, which was like the last one that they had. And then they also have a like black and gray set. So this set was the cool set. This set is the warm set, and then this set is the earth set, which comes with my favorite color, which is this one, emerald green, which is kind of an aqua bluish color. So I started all of this before October. I got that, and then I bought this notebook and I decorated the front of it, and then I listed all of the prompts on the inside, and I wrote over here what I had purchased. The fine liners are a pretty good price. I really like the fine liners. They have I normally would trace with or draw first with the 0.2. You see the numbers kind of wearing out. And then, I don't know if you can see that. The tip is a little bit more, seems almost more like a felt tip. Yeah. And so here's the list, and one of the reasons I really wanted to do the Inktober prompts this year was because they were not like Halloween themed seeming. So I was a little bit more interested in the travel kind of aspect that some of them came. And then I had this idea that not only did I want to do some art to practice doing art, but I wanted to spend some time in the Bible, kind of studying God's word a bit. And so I also came up with a Bible verse that went along with each prompt. And the way that I did that was I went through, I just went on the computer and searched Bible verse, travel Bible verse for this one, Bible verse, backpack, or I'm not sure if I did backpack for this one, but I just searched different like words that would mean whatever the picture was about to me. So this was the first prompt, and it doesn't look like it on the camera, but this is actually this color. In fact, on the camera, this color is coming out a lot more just blue than green, and it's really weird because to me it looks very much more green in person. So that's the emerald green, and it looks more emerald green in person than it does on the camera, which is really weird. So then I just like for this is a good one for discover, then you find a Bible verse with the word discovery in it by searching for it. So I wanted to make like I wanted the theme to be like they're going on a trip. So first they go to the tropics, and then this is like about the right path. So I wanted a picture where the boots looked bigger, since the prompt was boots and they were like in the foreground. Trying to play with the perspective a little bit. And then exotic, I had found this picture of a pigeon from India and how fancy they looked. This one kind of pigeon from India. So I used that as a drawing. And then again, I used that same emerald green. I cannot believe the difference in the color, the way it looks on the camera right now. It's so interesting. And then the binoculars, like you're gazing. So I went through and I'd probably do like 4 or 5 pages on a weekend and then go back and color them in, do like the drawing, and the words were usually in like a 0.4. The drawing was usually in a 0.2. And then go in and do just trying to use the same colors. This one's one of my favorites. I got some of the images from this are from is it Upsplash, Unsplash? Oh my gosh, my brain does not work right now. But I like this one. I think I might make a print of this one to go in my kitchen. I don't know, can't decide. So you can also see these on Instagram. I have reels that I made after a few days, but I actually finished this. I was about halfway through at the beginning of October because I had started it early. I'm just gonna kind of go through them a little bit fast. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to tell you. So Posca pens, I had them. In fact, I have some here. This is my collection over here, along with these guys, and then I have a couple duplicates put away in a drawer for right now. That came with my newer sets, but I have some that I purchased on Amazon several years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, that are only, written in Japanese. So I think the seller on Amazon was getting them straight from Japan. I don't think they were being sold with US labels yet when I purchased them. Like I said, this could be as many as 7 years ago. I don't remember. It was like the first time I heard about them. And so I have several of those from a collection that was a set of like 15 of just a bunch of like a rainbow full of colors. And then I collected a couple that are these smaller sized Posca pens, so that the nib is smaller, the pen itself is skinnier, and then the nib is smaller. I have just a couple of those, pink and a green, and then yeah, most of these come from that original set, which are all still good. There's only a couple that are not as good anymore. So the thing that I like about Posca pens is that when you're drawing in a book like this again was like 110 weight, I think, and I cannot get over how much more blue it looks on camera. Anyway, it creates like a matte background, so I've heard people go over it with colored pencil. It also kind of would you say it kind of like, it's almost like a pencil where it like kind of, as you're coloring with it, like little pieces, you can see it on the pink right here, little pieces kind of come off, almost like chalk, because it's so matte, and it is kind of like a chalk pen, right? So I'm not getting it on me as I'm touching that, but definitely when I'm drawing, I get pretty messy, and you can kind of see the texture here that I'm talking about, the little pieces. But anyway, it's a fun medium to use because it's like they're big chunky markers, and then also you can do different textures on them. I like the way that they look with the pen. So this is done with the brush pen. But then I also sometimes would go in, let me see if I can find an example of it, like on these, and I would just take my finger and I would just wipe across to get the, it just kind of smudge it to kind of get that different texture. And while they're wet, this one definitely was smudged and layered. While it's wet, you can do that, but it dries very quickly, so you have to do it you almost have to draw and then brush with your finger to smear it, and then draw and brush and draw and brush, and then you can kind of layer tones on top of each other. This one, I spent quite some time. I was at Panera doing this one when my dog was having a little teeth cleaning kind of thing going on, and so I was kind of waiting on him and doing this, and this is, you can kind of see how it, I don't know, almost looks like sprayed or chalky kind of there, and it doesn't come off now. It's dried, so it doesn't really come off. I did the same thing for the olives. You can kind of see how their texture looks a little different, and then on the hummus it's kind of spread, but then I didn't spread it. This is a good example on this page, but I didn't spread it on the garlic, the darker color, because I just wanted it to look like that. So they're really fun if you ever want to try them. I know they're a little bit more expensive. I have a full-time job. I'm a grown-up. I can afford to buy my own art supplies. So it is one of those kinds of things. And even with that, you know, I wanted to buy them at a local store. I wanted to buy them right at Hobby Lobby where I could see them. And I knew that they were a newer product there, and they didn't have a lot of stock of them. So I felt pretty confident that the markers would be more fresh. But like I said, I've had this one set for a long time, probably 5 years, and there's only like one of them that's gotten a little watery kind of. So this one is a good example of using, so I use the brush pen, I use the number 2 pen, probably the number 8 pen to do some of these darker lines, and then I went in with the Posca pens and did a lot of the smearing with my finger to get that kind of texture that I wanted for rhinoceros's skin. So I actually kind of like the way that turned out. I just don't like this ear. And then the Bible verse that goes with it. And this was all supposed to look like that's supposed to look like a Polaroid that they took of a rhinoceros. So they were in, they started off in the tropics, and then there's quite a few pages when they're in Africa. We're supposed to be like in Africa. This is the camping one. So they're supposed to be camping out at night. So I had to do a thing about the stars. And then the background is one of the blues. By this time I had another set of blue. And then the white Posca, or maybe the ivory on the top. You just have to make sure that the blue would be completely dried before you would put the white down, if you want to layer like that. This is another example. I wanted to get some texture, so I did some of that rubbing, and then I went back over with another color. I think I had done red, and then I didn't really like the way that it looked, and I went back with the lighter color, and I added more texture with the greens and the browns to get a little bit more that grass look. This was the one mistake I made when I was doing the book. I had switched Scarecrow and Expedition. They were supposed to be in different places. Like one goes first and then the other. You can see I got away from my original colors because I had gotten new colors. So I tried to use some of the same colors, just to kind of try to keep it even. And then I wrote in the back of this book about what I had done. And then after I was completely done with that book, I went to the store, went back to Hobby Lobby, purchased another book, and then I bought the Cool set. So I hadn't had the Cool set yet, and I hadn't used that original set. So this whole book for Inktober was done with the earth colors and the warm colors. And then I purchased a new book and I got the cool colors. And I'm gonna do, it's a doodle wash prompt from a few years ago. It's from October 2019, but I liked the words for that. And so I started this one, and I'm gonna do the same kind of thing because I like doing it as like a Bible study and a drawing. And I'm gonna do that, I think with the Posca pens again, just for fun. So this first one was onion. And I found another, like a food verse from the Bible, which were kind of fun to read anyway. And then another one, snacks, macaroons, and then fish. There's a lot of fish verses, so I just picked the Jonah one because I love that one. And then this is my ice cream, but this is where I stopped like last week. Might have even been the week before. I haven't had a chance to get back in here. And I need a Bible verse for this one, and then I'll color it in. So I usually do the drawing, the ink drawing, and then the Bible verse, and then the coloring. And like I said, sometimes I would do, like, for this one, I think I did, you know, the 4 ink drawings, and then went back and added the Bible verses, and then that's where I stopped. So maybe when I'm finished with this, I'll make another video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a like if you liked it, and feel free to comment about how you have done Inktober in the past. Before this year, I have not been successful with Inktober, but it was really nice on the weekend to spend. I spent maybe like an hour at a time kind of studying different Bible verses, working on art. I just put on a Netflix show in the background and just kind of enjoy a little time doing some art and studying. So, all right, take care and hope to see you soon.